Okay, so we're back. Now we're going to go over the forward and really thinking about what this system is going to be able to do for us. This 7 is possible to happen. It is possible to create and to live. We just need to learn how to understand ourselves more and develop the discernment too. We have all the information that we need. So let's go over the forward. Right now it is Sunday, September 19th. It is 12:47 a.m. in the morning. Now let's get started. Some men seem to attract success, power, wealth, attainment with very little conscious effort. Others conquer with great difficulty. Still, others fail altogether to reach their ambitions, desires, and ideals. Why is this so? Why should some men realize their ambitions easily, others with difficulty, and still others not at all? The cause cannot be physical, else the most perfect men physically would be the most successful. The difference, therefore, must be mental. It must be in the mind. Hence, mind must be the difference, must be the creative force, must constitute the sole difference between men. It is mind, therefore, which overcomes environment and every other obstacle in the path of men. And it is our mind that we are here to grow, to develop, to focus, and to direct towards our one specific purpose: the creation of the 7. When the creative power of thought is fully understood, its effect will be seen to be marvelous, but such results cannot be secured without proper application, diligence, and concentration. The student will find that the laws governing in the mental and spiritual world are as fixed and infallible as in the material world. To secure the desired results, then, it is necessary to know the law and to comply with it. So what it's saying right there, that the laws that our mind follow, there are laws that govern our thinking. And when we think a certain way, when we you're not ready to just explain that. This is your process, Corey. This is your learning process. You understand the idea, but putting it in words, you still have more to learn to be able to easily put that in words. You'll get there. You will be there. So there are laws governing the mental and spiritual world that we're going to learn in this system. To secure the desired results, then it is necessary to know the law and to comply with it. A proper compliance with the law will be found to produce the desired result with invariable exactitude. The student who learns that power comes from within, that he is weak only because he has depended on help from outside, and who unhesitatingly throws himself on his own thought, instantly rights himself, stands erect, assumes a dominant attitude, and works miracles. It is evident, therefore, that he who fails to fully investigate and take advantage of the wonderful progress which is being made in this last and greatest science will soon be as far behind as the man who would refuse to acknowledge and accept the benefits which have accrued to mankind through an understanding of the laws of electricity. Of course, mind creates negative conditions just as readily as favorable conditions, and when we consciously or unconsciously visualize every kind of lack, limitation, and discord, we create these conditions. This is what many are unconsciously doing all the time. So learning to concentrate and focus on the things that we want, on the things that we desire to create, is the very process, is the very mental process to manifesting those things into our life, because our mental pictures and thoughts, there's a law which takes our thoughts, which takes our pictures, and it acts upon them. We act upon them. So when we learn how to think constructively, continuously, we'll always have actions which are constructive. We need to learn how to think correctly, especially when it comes to the situation or circumstance in which we find ourselves in. This law, as well as every other law, is no respecter of persons, but it is in constant operation and is relentlessly bringing to each individual exactly what he has created. In other words, quote, "Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." End quote. Abundance, therefore, depends upon a recognition of the law of abundance, and the fact that mind is not only the creator, but the only creator of all there is. Certainly, nothing can be created before we know that it can be created, and then make the proper effort. Like we were talking about earlier, knowing what it is that you want, so you can learn to think from that desire. And our mind will do what it needs to do to find out how to bring that thing into our life. There is no more electricity in the world today than there was 50 years ago, but until someone recognized the law by which it could be made of service, we received no benefit. And now that the law is understood, practically the whole world is lit by it. Excuse me. Now we know Edison was the one who created the direct current, and the world is powered right now mainly off of direct current. Edison understood the law of electricity, and by understanding the law, he formulated a certain law himself, a certain mathematical equation, a certain way of taking electricity and making it usable and accessible to all mankind. Now, Nikola Tesla created alternating currents, which we look at documentaries, and this man, I personally think Nikola Tesla was a little bit more brilliant than Edison, but that's my personal opinion. Not to mention, Nikola Tesla has been found that he created a contraption to which electricity would have been able to he would have pulled electricity out of the ether, because the electrons, all space is filled with electrons. So pulling that electricity out of the ether and making free electricity available to the world, that was Nikola Tesla's idea. Now that shows that Nikola Tesla had a lot more compassion than Edison did, because Edison monopolized the electricity. He didn't give it freely to the world. It is something that the world had to pay for. Now it's amazing the difference between intelligence and heart. For one had more heart than the other, at least when it came to compassion, and when it came to electricity. Abundance, therefore, depends upon a recognition of the laws of abundance, and the fact that mind is not only the creator, but the only creator of all there is. Certainly, nothing can be created before we know that it can be created, and then make the proper effort. There is no more electricity in the world today than there was 50 years ago. But until someone recognized the law by which it could be made of service, we receive no benefit. And now that the law is understood, practically the whole world is lit by it. So with the law of abundance, it is only those who recognize the law and place themselves in harmony with it who share in its benefits. So abundance is everywhere, as system is telling us, and we have to learn to focus on the abundance which is around us. The scientific spirit now dominates every field of effort. Relations of cause and effect are no longer ignored. The discovery of a region of law marked an epoch in human progress. It eliminates the element of uncertainty and caprice in men's lives, and substituted law, reason, and certitude. Men now understand that for every result there is an adequate and definite cause, so that when a given result is desired, they seek the condition by which alone this result may be attained, because there is a certain and definite way of doing things, the correct way of thinking. The basis upon which all law rests was discovered by inductive reasoning, which consists of comparing a number of separate instances with one another until the common factor which gives rise to them all is seen. So inductive reasoning is looking at a specific process of a thing. Let's say you're looking at one philosophy and comparing that philosophy, or even religion, with the number, and looking at the common truths, the commonalities between the two philosophies or religions, and finding the common factor, the truth that exists within both of them, that they both share, even though it may be explained differently. It is this method of study to which the civilized nations owe the greater part of their prosperity, and the more valuable part of their knowledge. It has lengthened life, it has mitigated pain, it has spanned rivers, it has brightened the night with the splendor of day, extended the range of vision, accelerated motion, annihilated distance, facilitated intercourse, and enabled men to descend into the sea and into the air. What wonder then that men soon endeavored to extend the blessings of this system of study to their method of thinking, so that when it became plainly evident that certain results followed a particular method of thinking, it only remained to classify these results. So as we said, thought is what produces action, and actions bring about results. So understanding the actions that bring about the right results leads to learning the correct way of thinking. And that is what we're here to learn, the correct way of thinking. And this method is scientific, and it is the method by which we shall be permitted to retain the degree of liberty and freedom which we have been accustomed to look upon as an inalienable right. Because a people is safe at home and in the world only if national preparedness means such things as growing surplus of health, accumulated efficiency in public and private business of whatever sort, continuous advance in the science and art of acting together, and the increasing dominant endeavor to make all of these and all other aspects of national development center and revolve about ascending life, single and collective, for which science, art, and ethics furnish guidance and controlling motives. The master key is based on absolute scientific truth and will unfold the possibilities that lie dormant in the individual and teach how they may be brought into powerful action to increase the person's effective capacity, bringing added energy, discernment, vigor, and mental elasticity. The student who gains an understanding of the mental laws which are unfolded will come into the possession of an ability to secure results hitherto undreamed of, and rewards hardly to be expressed in words. It explains the correct use of both the receptive and active elements of the mental nature, and instructs the student in the recognition of opportunity. It strengthens the will and reasoning powers, and teaches the cultivation and best uses of imagination, desire, the emotions, and the intuitional faculty. It gives initiative, tenacity of purpose, wisdom of choice, intelligent sympathy, and a thorough enjoyment of life on its higher planes. Now notice everything that he's talking about is all inner qualities These are all parts of the inner man, the spiritual man, and the mental man. It has nothing to do with the physical man, albeit the physical man is going to be the expression of what's going on in the spiritual and mental. The Master Key teaches the use of mind power, true mind power, not any of the substitutes and perversions. It has nothing to do with hypnotism, magic, or any of the more or less fascinating deceptions by which many are led to think that something can be had for nothing. The Master Key cultivates and develops the understanding which will enable you to control the body and thereby the health. It improves and strengthens the memory. It develops insight, the kind of insight which is so rare, the kind which is the distinguishing characteristic of every successful businessman, the kind which enables men to see the possibilities as well as the difficulties in every situation, the kind which enables men to discern opportunity close at hand, for thousands fail to see opportunities almost within their grasp while they are industriously working with situations which under no possibility can be made to realize any substantial return. The Master Key develops mental power. Now, all that is discernment. We will know how to recognize what's true and what's not, what's good and what's bad, what opportunity is better than the other. The Master Key develops mental power, which means that others instinctively recognize that you are a person of force, of character, that they want to do what you want them to do. It means that you attract men and things to you, that you are what some people call lucky, that things come your way, that you have come into an understanding of the fundamental laws of nature and have put yourself in harmony with them, that you are in tune with infinite, that you understand the law of attraction, the natural laws of growth, and the psychological laws on which all advantages in the social and business world rest. Mental power is creative power. It gives you the ability to create for yourself. It does not mean the ability to take something away from someone else. Nature never does things that way. Nature makes two blades of grass grow where one grew before. Now that's the law of abundance. Two growing where one was. And mind power enables men to do the same thing. So as we apply this information and learn this wisdom, we won't have to take anything from anybody else. They will want to work with us. Now this doesn't mean that we're here to control them. By no means. We're here to work with them. We're here to help them. Remember, the best way for you, yourself, to get success is to help other people become successful themselves. And as we ourselves are here learning to be the best version of ourselves that we can be, this will enable us and give us the ability to help all those other people to become more of who they are and who they are destined to be, so they can go out and apply these laws in their lives and positively and constructively affect those that are around them. Because we are all here for each other. We're not here for ourselves. I mean, those of people that are, selfish, egotistical, I know what that looks like. I've been that at one point in my life. And that's not exactly the best way to live your life. It brings a lot of unhappiness and resentment. But we'll save all that for another time. Oh, my battery's low. I got 10% left. So let's go ahead and finish this. And after this, I need to get some food into my system. And we'll go over part 1 when we go over it. So let's go ahead and continue. Mental power is creative power. It gives you the ability to create for yourself. Okay, we just read this one. Okay, the Master Key develops insight and sagacity, decreased independence, the ability and disposition to be helpful. It destroys distrust, depression, fear, melancholia, in every form of lack, limitation, and weakness, including pain and disease. It awakens buried talents, supplies initiative, force, energy, vitality. It awakens an appreciation of the beautiful in art, literature, and science. It has changed the lives of thousands of men and women by substituting definite principles for uncertain and hazy methods, and principles for the foundation upon which every system of efficiency must rest. So everything we learn in here is scientifically proven and observed to be true, and we are learning the definite way of applying what has been found to be true. These are facts of life, not opinions. Albert Gary, the chairman of the United States Steel Corporation, said, quote, "The services of advisors, instructors, efficiency experts, and successful management are indispensable to most business enterprises of magnitude, but I deem the recognition and adoption of right principles vastly of more importance." End quote. So Albert Gary, as it's saying, is a chairman of the United States Steel Corporation. He says that all these different parts of the business that make the business run is definitely important and it's infallible. But the learning and application of definite right principles is of more importance. Why? Because as we learn that we're here to learn spiritual principles and to grow our inner man. The growth of the inner man ultimately leads to the growth of our actions and our character. And our actions and character itself is going to determine the quality of the type of work we do anyway. So you could have efficiency experts, as he's saying, or instructors that have really bad character. They lack character. Oh, we need to plug this in. Die on me, Mac. Do not die on me. It's all good. It's all good. It says it's still recording, but the screen's frozen. Are you still there? You still on? What's going on, photo booth? I can't tell if it's frozen.